Yeah. Welcome to the place where the truth comes first. Breaking down the headlines, separating facts from the worst. No fear, no bias, no agenda to hide. Just real conversations from the other side. Hollywood lights, street stories, what's really going on? We ask the tough questions long after the hype is gone. Different perspectives, every voice is a shot. Because real discussion is something this world forgot. If you've got an opinion, don't keep it inside. Pull up to the conversation, let your voice collide. And more based on
All right, y'all. Feisty is officially back in the ATL. And apparently, it did not take long for her to get back to business as usual. What's up, Hollywood besties? This is Alan Thompson with more Based Off. All right. And when I say business as usual, of course, I mean tragedy. Because Feisty and her quote unquote husband have reunited. They're eating pizza together, laughing, kissing, carrying on. And I'm going to tell you something. As dysfunctional as a lot of us think their relationship is, I'm not even going to sit here and pretend like there is not some real chemistry there because it's definitely there. But there's really a lot going on underneath this little pizza date because Feisty is talking about why she's back in Atlanta, promoting Tragedy Show, which is tonight. Anybody in the ATL that want to check it out? She didn't say where is that, but anyways, she's having a show in Atlanta tonight. And then she was promoting her appearance at Candyland tomorrow. You know, the strip club that supposedly she was the featured guest the last time, but it turned out that really nobody, even at the place, knew who she was or that she was there supposedly promoting for the night or be the featured host, I guess. So anyway, she's back on that again, and she's supposed to be at Candyland tomorrow in Atlanta, and I guess she's supposed to be there with Ant from the barbershop, which I don't know what the connection um, with that is. But yeah, that's a whole nother topic with Ant because there's another video that's dropped with Marcus and Ant's barbershop. And apparently, Marcus has some tea to spill about Nick. So he pretty much said Nick is broke because Nick's name came up, of course, since Feisty is back in Atlanta. Ant was asking about Nick, and Marcus said, "Man, please, Nick is broke." And then Marcus went on to say seemingly a lot more, but he kind of sped that part up and made it where you couldn't hear what he was saying. But apparently he had a lot to say about Nick. But I told you I'm pretty much done talking about that. I already told y'all what the deal was with that, but it was interesting that Marcus called that out about Nick. And but I mean, at the end of the day, Marcus is the one that hooked her up with this dude Nick. So whatever. So yeah, but first let's talk about Feisty and Tragedy. Watching these two together again, you would think Feisty had been gone for like 6 months instead of just taking a little trip down to Texas. Because what was she gone all of like 2 weeks or whatever? But yeah, they were so giddy to see each other, laughing, smiling, touching, kissing. Tragedy definitely was happy to see her. Feisty definitely was happy to see him. And I have plenty to say about this relationship. I definitely think there's some dysfunction there, of course. I think there's questions about what this relationship actually is from day one. We watched their ups and downs, the arguments, the separations. I mean, in all of just a few months period since they've known each other. But again, I can acknowledge they have chemistry. It is no getting around. A lot of people compare them to Whitney and Bobby, like, just the way they are together. Now, like I had said before, I will never compare anybody to my girl Whitney is Whitney. But I do get the comparison. It's more just the connection they have. It is a Whitney and Bobby connection, but Feisty could never compare with our girl Whit. Tragedy, on the other hand, yeah, we can compare her to Bobby Brown. We can go there with that one. But anyways, but whatever their relationship is, there does appear to be genuine attachment between them. And I actually think that's part of what makes this entire Texas situation so interesting. because Feisty went to Texas supposedly for this new opportunity, this new environment, this new situation with Nick. But the minute she gets back around Tragedy, she looks completely comfortable again. Because now the one thing I can't say about her in Texas is that she was looking better. She was looking, housed. But her personality was definitely a little more subdued. You could tell she wasn't really, happy there. Even though it probably was a better environment for her, so to speak. But yeah, but being back with Tragedy now in Atlanta, it's like she never left. So now I'm wondering what's exactly the long term plan now? Because she says back and forth between Texas and Atlanta. But now Marcus done said Nick is broke. And we know Feisty still isn't making any money like that. So who's going to be funding this back and forth between Atlanta and Texas? Because according to Feisty, that's what she says she's going to be doing. So she says she's back in Atlanta to shoot some scenes for content. Okay. So apparently Texas is not necessarily replacing Atlanta. It sounds more like she's trying to have one foot in both places. And actually think we need to watch that. So I guess we'll see. But because when she was in Texas, because when the Texas move first happened, it was presented like this opportunity for Feisty to get in a better position or situation, right? Marcus connected her with Nick. She went down there, and suddenly we're hearing all of these plans. Now she's already back in Atlanta, reunited with her quote unquote husband, Tragedy, shooting content and promoting events. So was Texas really a move? Or is Texas just another stop on this ongoing saga of Feisty? So I guess we'll see, huh? Then Feisty starts promoting what she has going on while she's back. So she repeatedly promotes Tragedy Show tonight. She said it at least 10 times in this live, which the live they couldn't even figure out what with the chat. I guess there was not any way they could chat. You know how you normally can type in the chat. I think they have it like disabled, and they don't know how to disable it where you can to chat. So they were having trouble with that. But yeah, so again, she was promoting the show that Tragedy's doing tonight, promoting her Candyland appearance tomorrow, which apparently Ant the Barber is going to be there. Now, y'all already know that caught my attention because Feisty previously worked for Ant, quote unquote, worked for Ant. So suddenly we've got Feisty back in Atlanta, Tragedy is back in the picture, Ant is back in the picture, and everybody seems to be orbiting around the same Atlanta universe again. So it's like they kind of all are, all around each other again and kind of seemingly about to be back up to their same shenanigans. So again, nothing has really changed because she went all the way to Texas, but within a short amount of time, she's right back in Atlanta with Tragedy. So here is where it got very interesting. During the Feisty and Tragedy video, Tragedy appeared to make some type of like kind of sideways comment about Nick, but I couldn't really figure out, Tragedy does that a lot, makes those little slick comments, but I couldn't really make out what he said or kind of what he was like inferring. But I definitely caught that Nick seemed to come up. Well, it was first about the comments, like how people couldn't comment in the chat, and Tragedy kind of like made it like it was something that Nick did. But then he made like another comment about Nick, kind of almost like what Marcus said about Nick not having money, but it wasn't like Tragedy said it as directly. So, like I said, then when I jumped over to this other video of Marcus at Ant's Barbershop, and Marcus says that Nick is broke, I'm like, now hold on. Because that was, again, going back to exactly why I was questioning the situation from the beginning. So, again, Marcus was the one that connected Feisty with Nick. The entire thing was framed as though Feisty was being connected with somebody who could potentially help her. And my question was always, how was he going to help her? Because based on everything that has come out since then, I have yet to understand what position Nick is supposedly in to substantially improve Feisty's circumstances. And now Marcus himself is apparently saying this man is broke. I mean, but we knew that based on the amount of child support he owes and everything else that I had revealed. So wait a minute. If that's Marcus' assessment now, then what exactly was the vetting process before Feisty was sent down there or he connected them, Because that's part of what doesn't make sense. And Marcus doesn't stop there. It appears like he's saying a lot more about Nick, except conveniently we can't hear that part because he sped that part of the video up and made it like where you could hear him talking, but you couldn't make out what he was saying. So yeah, it makes everybody wonder like what was he saying about Nick, and it seemed like he was talking for a while about that. So it probably was something to the effect of Feisty probably still reaching out asking for money or something while she was there, or not having money while she was there, and things like that. I'm sure something to that effect. So yeah, but I'm just thinking like, why leave it in the video when you're gonna speak? Well, we know why he left it in the video. Because he did want it to be known that he was saying something that was not, I'm sure, great about Nick. So, yeah. But here's another interesting piece. Feisty actually shouted Marcus out in this video. So, from her perspective, apparently, I guess there's no issue. She just said, it's all love. But for Marcus, I don't know. I mean, his energy towards Feisty and Tragedy, definitely, I don't think it seems like he's in that place where he's ready to work with them again. And again, with everything going on, who knows how much more time he has to work with anybody at this point. Anyways, y'all, I think really there's actually a bigger story here. Feisty's gone to Texas, gotten involved with Nick, come back to Atlanta, reunited with Tragedy, linked back into the same Atlanta circle, and is now talking about going back and forth between both states. Meanwhile, Marcus, the person who made Nick the connection, is now apparently calling Nick broke and teasing additional information about him. So where is this headed? Because right now it looks less like Feisty left Atlanta for some major new beginning and more like she simply added Texas as another location in the storyline. And maybe that works for her. Maybe she really does plan on going back and forth, creating content and making appearances. But I still have the exact same question I had from the beginning. How does any of this actually put Feisty in a better position? That's what I'm waiting to see. But anyways, what do y'all think? I thought it was an interesting reunion, between her and Tragedy. They seem really genuinely happy with each other and happy being together, and at the end of the day, I can't knock that. They both have some work to do to get themselves together, but, I think everybody in life at the end of the day wants somebody that they genuinely like being with, and they do genuinely seem to enjoy being with each other. But what do y'all think? Do you think Feisty and Tragedy actually belong together despite all the dysfunction? Do you think Marcus is really finished dealing with Feisty and Tragedy, or do you think they'll all eventually end up back together again? And most importantly, what do y'all make of Marcus calling Nick broke after Marcus was the one who connected Feisty with him in the first place? Man, oh man. Just when I thought we were done with that whole Nick scenario to begin with. But yeah, I found that very, very interesting. So anyways, drop your thoughts below. And if you're new over here, make sure you like this video, subscribe to More Based Off, and turn on your notifications. Because, somehow over here, there's always more to the story. So, all right, y'all. I'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah. Welcome to the place where the truth comes first. Breaking down the headlines, separating facts from the worst. No fear, no bias, no agenda to hide. Just real conversations from the other side. Hollywood lights, street stories, what's really going on? We ask the tough questions long after the hype is gone. Different perspectives, every voice is a shot. Because real discussion is something this world forgot. If you've got an opinion, don't keep it inside. Pull up to the conversation, let your voice collide. And More Based Off. Talk real opinions, let's talk about it. Where your opinion matters, everybody's invited. No scripts, no let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it. From YouTube drama to the biggest headlines, we're connecting the dots, one story at a time. Respect the debate, even when we disagree, cause honest conversation is what keeps us free. The comments are open, the panel's alive, everybody's got a chance to jump in and vibe. So subscribe, join in, and don't just watch it pass, because the next great conversation starts with the chat.
Thanks for watching More Based Off. If you enjoyed today's video, please like, subscribe, comment, and share this video with someone who would enjoy it too. Your support helps to grow the channel. If you'd like to support the channel even further, my Cash App is on the screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.